Hi. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my research into the genre of alternative music. So first, what actually is alternative music? Alternative music generally refers to music that's created outside of the mainstream music industry. It's often seen as more experimental or original compared to typical popular music, and a lot of it is released through independent record labels, which is where the term indie music comes from. A big part of alternative music is creative freedom. Artists in this genre usually focus more on expressing their own ideas and emotions rather than trying to follow trends in mainstream pop music. Because of that, the lyrics are often more personal or emotional, and the sound can be quite unique. There are also some key characteristics that are common in alternative music. Firstly, a lot of songs mix more energetic, guitar-driven tracks with slower and more emotional songs. This gives the genre quite a wide range of moods and styles. Another important feature is authenticity. Artists in this genre often focus on expressing real emotions and individuality rather than making music that's purely designed to be commercial. Alternative music is also usually very guitar-focused. Electric and bass guitars are often the main instruments used, and many songs use things like distortion, riffs, or even just simple chord progressions. Artists in this genre are also more likely to experiment with different sounds or song structures, which helps to make the music feel more different from mainstream pop. Finally, a lot of alternative music originally comes from independent production, which can give the songs a more raw and less polished sound. Looking at the history of the genre, alternative music really started developing in the 1980s. It grew out of the underground music scene and was heavily influenced by punk rock. At the time, many artists released their songs through independent labels, and their songs were often played on college radios rather than mainstream radio. These artists mixed punk influences with pop melodies, guitar rock, and more experimental sounds. In the early 90s, alternative rock became much more popular globally. The grunge movement in Seattle helped bring alternative music into the mainstream, and music channels like MTV played a big role in promoting alternative bands. Then, in the early 2000s, there was another wave of indie and alternative rock bands that brought guitar-driven music back into popularity. A lot of artists started gaining attention through music blogs and early internet platforms. Today, streaming platforms like Spotify have made it much more easy for artists to release music independently online. Modern alternative artists often mix the genre with others like pop, folk, or electronic music, which shows how the genre is still evolving. Some well-known artists and bands in the alternative and indie genre include The Smiths, Oasis, Arctic Monkeys, The Kooks, Phoebe Bridgers, and Clairo. For example, bands like Oasis and Arctic Monkeys help define the British indie rock sound with strong guitar music and relatable lyrics. The Smiths were also very influential in shaping the early alternative scene, with distinct guitar melodies. More modern artists like Phoebe Bridgers and Clairo show how the genre has evolved, combining indie sounds with softer and more personal songwriting styles. Overall, alternative music is a genre that focuses on creativity, individuality, and emotional expression, and it continues to change and develop over time. Thank you for listening.